Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 345 in A Course in Miracles. It says, I offer only blessings today, for I would have them be returned to me. I offer only blessings today, for I would have them be returned to me. That was hard to remember that type, but it talks about how, I hope you can hear I have so many sounds going right now. And look at this. I love sitting here when nobody's awake in the light of the Christmas tree. So it's a very peaceful time, except for my dryer, my washer, this little heater. This lesson talks about a tired world and how I bless this tired world, and how I think what it was pointing to is how, like, in this, and it talks about seeking. And I've talked about this recently, so it's funny it's coming around, this idea of like seeking energy is inherently exhausting. And then when we give into it or let it go, I think those can be the same thing. When you give into something, you're just like, you let it overtake you. And also there's a letting it go in the process, because you're not fighting it, you're not holding tight, you're not struggling with it. So it's very like an energetic feeling of like, the both and, how something can totally consume you and you just let go into it, let it overtake you. And that there's what came to me in this lesson was how, like, to be tired is also to be at a point where you can accept help. You know, when you're like, oh, okay. And you're like, I feel like there's that, it's hard to put into words. The feeling of being tired to the point where you just are done trying for whatever you've been trying for, whether it's like getting through the day, getting through the week, keeping up appearances, seeking fulfillment, like whatever that is, where you're just like, feels like it doesn't really ever get you to your perceived finish line for that thing. And then you finally like rest, tired, let go. And then it feels like that is a place where we're more readily able to receive help, receive novel solutions to the problems we had perceived before that only had this one idea of a solution. Like, it's this place where miracles happen, meaning the unexpected, the miracles, like the book talks about, where we're giving each other something we have an abundance of. So it doesn't even feel like we're giving up something in the giving, because we have an abundance of it. Here, have some. You need it. I have more than enough, and vice versa. And it feels like, what if, I guess where it takes me is like, what if we could more readily live in that space of acceptance? The ground of receiving is like fertile. Like, there's nothing in the way of being able to receive that gift from each other. And that takes, where that then took me, or like leads me to think about vulnerability, and how it's inherently vulnerable to be receptive. Like, our wall is down and things can come in, right? It's, you think about vulnerability like an openness and readiness and quietude, and how there's nothing, there's no resistance energy in that space, where it's just like, oh, I'm tired, I'm ready, I can accept help, I can accept my own help, my own creative solutions can now come up from within me to whatever I was struggling for or against. So I don't know what that amounts to, other than that lesson really, when it said about miracles and the tired world. That's what it brought up. It's just like, let's be tired together. I think that makes us vulnerable in the best way. Get this guy. Hi. He's a Christmas cat.